Is it just me? Or am I seeing more and more videos on social media of persons proudly smoking marijuana? Then there are those showcasing their culinary versatility by making cannabis-infused edibles in an array of shapes, colors, and sizes. And me, being the avid reader of comments that I am, often head to the comment section to see what the people are thinking. And as I dive into these reviews, the majority and sometimes each and every comment is really advocating for marijuana use. Persons are really passionate about this. They're saying that marijuana is the cure for their stress, that it makes them a better parent, and that it's the only solution for some of their health concerns. Honestly, it literally feels as if I woke up one day and social media is suddenly promoting marijuana use. The very same thing that was once demonized and illegal in many parts of the world and still is in some places. And I know a lot of social media content is made for CBD or cannabidiol, which is a compound found in the marijuana plant and is thought to be safe and effective for various health issues. Although it also has a world of unknowns of potential harms and side effects. The regulations regarding cannabis promotion on social media vary widely depending on the legal status of cannabis in the particular region. However, generally, paid ads for cannabis-related businesses are restricted. But we all know cannabis content is still widely accessible on social media. Influencers often navigate a gray zone where they have the leeway to promote their personal use of cannabis and offer recommendations without engaging in direct sales. As the saying goes, the stricter the government, the wiser the population. Some users may employ creative language or imagery to discuss or depict cannabis without explicitly using the terms cannabis or marijuana. Doing this makes it more challenging for automated content moderation systems to identify and flag such content. But I don't like it one bit. And that's why I'm here creating this video, even though I know that this is a very controversial topic and most people might disagree with me. But I'm very passionate about this topic and I'll let you know exactly why. By the way, I'm not saying that I am totally against the use of cannabis in any of its forms. I've already addressed the pros and cons of cannabis use in one of my previous videos. But what I am against are those 20-second videos of young, beautiful, healthy adults proudly smoking marijuana or praising its use without providing absolutely any information about its potential consequences. And of course, those videos of people making marijuana gummies. It's videos like these, coupled by the fact that you see marijuana stores all over the place. You walk down one corner in Toronto and you see 2 or 3 marijuana stores, and I'm not even exaggerating. And these stores are even better than the supermarkets because they are open 24/7. So you can't purchase bread after 10 p.m., but you sure can get marijuana at midnight. Anyways, that's not the point of this video. My grievance boils down to this one fact. Our children and the next generation don't stand a chance. Not with marijuana being thrown in their faces like this. One study showed that 93.6% of participants, who are all adolescents, were exposed to cannabis marketing on at least one social media platform, with exposure on Facebook being the highest when compared to Instagram and Twitter. This study was published in 2019, so of course things may have changed since then. But what I wanted to highlight is that the research claims, and I quote, adolescents with higher than average exposure reported more frequent cannabis use, stronger intentions to use cannabis in the future, more positive expectations about cannabis use, and more negative consequences from cannabis use. So here's my question. Is social media the gateway to cannabis culture? If you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to like and subscribe. It helps me out more than you could ever imagine. Platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter have become popular among cannabis enthusiasts who use these platforms to share information, images, and experiences related to cannabis use. While these platforms can educate the public and counteract negative stereotypes and misconceptions about cannabis, they can also expose non-users to cannabis culture and normalize its use. While I acknowledge and appreciate that social media is a platform for personal expression, the brevity of these videos often overlook Actually, they completely ignore the complexities associated with marijuana use. One could only hope that we are not creating more problems for ourselves, more health risks that we will only recognize a decade too late. Over the last decade, there has been a significant increase in the legalization of cannabis for both recreational and medicinal purposes in various regions around the world. Countries such as Canada, Uruguay, and several US states have legalized recreational use, while many others have allowed medicinal cannabis use. If you've listened to my previous video about why it's so hard to quit smoking, you might notice a similar trend in the evolution of cannabis use and the historical evolution of smoking tobacco, particularly in terms of changing perceptions, legal frameworks, and public health considerations. Here are some parallels for you to consider. Tobacco was once widely accepted and glamorized. Smoking ads were all over the radio and TV. Similarly, cannabis has transitioned from being stigmatized to gaining more acceptance, especially with the increasing acknowledgement of its potential health benefits. But now we have an even more powerful weapon to glamorize cannabis. We have the internet, social media, and influencers. And every teenager has a phone. I just want us to pause and assess what a few years could look like if we continue like this. Both tobacco and cannabis have undergone shifts in legal status. Tobacco was historically unregulated and widely accessible. But over the years, regulations have been implemented to address health concerns, including restrictions on advertising and public smoking. Fortunately, some territories do regulate cannabis advertising and require that advertisements provide factual information and not be misleading. However, we need to start realizing the power of influencer marketing. Instead of solely showcasing the act of smoking or praising its use, content creators should consider incorporating information about legal implications, potential health risks, and responsible consumption practices. A more balanced approach can help viewers make more informed decisions and better understand the broader context of marijuana use. Have you seen social media videos of how cannabis has impacted educational and career goals, or how it's affected memory and cognition? Because the persons in the comment sections mentioning that they have smoked marijuana for 40 years and are still healthy and strong are not giving you the full picture. These are anecdotal accounts that do not reflect the full spectrum of outcomes. It's important to recognize that the impact of marijuana varies from person to person. While many individuals have positive experiences, others face challenges or adverse effects. And the ones that are already addicted or facing negative health consequences are not creating social media shorts. They are often less likely to share their experiences openly. They are grappling with their addiction, fighting to survive. Simply put, many social media videos are downright misleading, and we need to find them concerning, especially for younger individuals who may underestimate the potential negative effects and the addictive nature of cannabis. Positive portrayals of cannabis use on social media will inevitably contribute to the normalization of its consumption, especially among impressionable individuals. Cannabis use will become more and more commonplace. This normalization will influence perceptions, particularly among younger individuals, and will lead to increased experimentation. No one wants to deal with stress, anxiety, or depression. Not when they have cannabis as the easy, widely available solution, one that often doesn't require a medical consultation or prescription. But is it a cure or a band-aid? Will these individuals still seek the help and support that they need? Social media around cannabis use will amplify peer pressure and social influence. Are these positive portrayals of cannabis use contributing to a social environment where individuals feel pressure to conform to certain behaviors, even if it's not in their best interest? Social media is everywhere. In regions where cannabis use is still illegal, social media content portraying its positive aspects without emphasizing legal restrictions may inadvertently encourage illegal activities. Younger individuals are more susceptible to social media influence, and they need even more protection from potentially harmful content. This is particularly important as the impact of social media on shaping attitudes and behaviors is still not yet fully understood. But what we do know for sure is that changes in societal norms often have significant consequences, both positive or negative, across various generations. Rather than promoting an exclusively positive or negative stance, social media content on marijuana should encourage open dialogue, creating a space for discussions about personal experiences, challenges, and lessons learned can create a more inclusive and informative community. This approach respects individual choices while acknowledging the diverse perspectives surrounding cannabis use. I can do a whole thesis, a whole book on this, but then again, no one would buy it, so I'm here doing this video instead. So this is just my rant for the day. I'm open to changing my views on this topic, but with good reason. Does anyone else agree with me? Is anyone else worried about this change in trend? I am known for being very risk averse, so maybe I'm just overthinking or overanalyzing again. Let me know your views in the comments. Be brutal if you need to. But before you do, I would like to reiterate that my intention is not to demonize marijuana use, but to advocate for a more responsible and informed approach to its portrayal on social media. If you haven't yet, be sure to check out my other video on the pros and cons of marijuana use.